Hey, what's up? Today we're going to be reviewing the WEN Oscillating Edge Belt and Spindle Sander. This thing has been in my shop for about 3 years now, and I think I feel ready. So as you can see from the state of it, it gets a lot of use in my shop. I nearly always have this edge belt attachment on. It's super easy to swap between that and the spindle. I'll show you that in detail. So get this cleaned off. This is an abrasive stick that I really like to use because it gets me a lot more life out of each belt that I put on this thing. There's a 150 grit on there right now, and it takes so much material off that I hesitate to put anything lower than that. These spindles are 80 that came with it. Let's check out some of the features on this thing, and then I will go ahead and demo the edge belt and then swap in the spindle and show you how that works too. So the dust port's about 1.5 inches, which works well for this little VacMaster vacuum here. I put a fine particulate bag in it to catch most of the dust. The spindles sit pretty conveniently right on the front here by the power switch, and there's a ton of onboard storage for all the different little things that you're going to need to swap in and out on this machine. The table is metal and adjusts pretty easily. It has a bunch of different little stops built into this mechanism to hit some common angles. Here's a close-up of the table. On the back side of the unit is this little plate that swaps for the edge belt when you're ready to go and put a spindle on. You'll see that in action shortly. I need something to sand, so we're going to take a really quick detour over the bandsaw here. I've free-drawn a knife, a wood knife, just a little gimmicky kind of thing. You can use it to cut cheese and spread stuff, but yeah, here we go. Alright, got our blank from the bandsaw. We're over at the Oscillating Edge Belt Sander, and I'm going to show you some footage right now that is at 5 times the speed. So this took about 6 minutes, what you're seeing here, grinding this down. And it's just to show you how fast the machine can work, even with the 150 belt on there. This is not the fastest that this machine can remove material. If you're looking for that, skip ahead to when I demo the spindle, because that really hogs material. So even with putting a little edge on by doing finicky little passes like this, I still only have about 10 minutes worth of sanding into this little wood knife right off the bandsaw, and that's using a 150 grit belt. It's really nice being able to work pretty much continuously without worrying about the piece heating up. The fact that it's oscillating just disperses the heat so much better, and you don't end up scorching the piece like you would on a stationary sander. Alright, that's ready for 220, sanding by hand to finish that off. But for now, we are going to go ahead and show you how easy it is to change the belt on this. You just flip this lever to take the tension off, wiggle the belt off, and then wiggle a new one back on. You'll have to use this knob on the left to align the belt most of the time after you put a new one on. You just run the machine and then you'll see it starting to work its way toward one side or the other, and you adjust the knob accordingly. It's pretty easy, but you gotta be quick. Now I'll show you how easy it is to go from the edge belt to a spindle. So first thing you want to do is take this thumb screw off, and then that's going to let you slide the whole edge belt up and off of the table. I really got to clean the inside of this thing, sheesh. So the edge belt lives on the back of the machine where that orange plate was before. So we're going to need that plate. So you can see it's off to the right there. We're going to take that and put it in place of the edge belt. So it pops in right here. It just sort of falls in. And then there are a bunch of different little rings that you'll need to pick the right one based on the diameter of the spindle. And those live on the edge of the machine right here. So each spindle is made up of a rubber cylinder with a sandpaper sleeve. It fits really loosely until you put the washer and the little nut on. I think what's going on is the act of cranking this nut down essentially makes the rubber expand between the two pieces it's held between, and then it grabs that sanding sleeve much easier. And it doesn't go anywhere. And then you put the right plate on and you're good to go. So I've gone and simulated a situation where you'd want to use the spindle, and I've drawn a sweep onto the edge of this piece of scrap off the laser. This is just to show you how quickly and efficiently this thing removes material, and it's pretty easy to follow a line. So this is real time. So you can see it ate that up pretty quick, and we're right down to that line that we drew. Overall, this tool has saved me a ton of time in the shop. I've made a lot of cool things with it. It just lets you shape material in a way that you can't otherwise. Considering the value alone from this sander, I gotta give it 5 stars all day long. It just does so much work for the sub $200 price point. I think it was $160 when I bought this in 2022. Anyhow, I hope you guys found this helpful. If you have any more questions, feel free to reach out in the comments. Until next time, peace.